Hi there, I'm Lucy McDonald, physiotherapist, and I'm going to talk to you today about pain in your plantar fascia, so pain in the underside of your foot or feet, and in particular with runners. So at the moment I've got lots of people asking me about this, so I thought I'd make a video. There are a number of misconceptions around plantar fascia. The first one is that it's often called plantar-fasciitis, itis being inflammation. And we now know that much like tendinitis, we know that this is a bit of an outdated way of describing pain in the plantar fascia, the pain in the underside of the foot. And that's because we know that it's not actually an inflammatory reaction. And it's more of a change in the structure of the plantar fascia. Plantar fascia technically isn't a tendon, but it behaves like a tendon. So the same rules apply as to pain in a tendon or a tendinopathy. In fact, if you can get your mouth around it, it's actually more accurate to call plantar fasciitis a plantar-fasciopathy. So when I say the same rules as with tendons, I have done another video on this where I go into more detail, but in effect it's no stretching, no resting it, no complete rest, and making sure that you gradually increase the load through the tendon, no sudden increases in load, small incremental increases as what the plantar fascia will respond best to. So by that, the best exercise that I can use to describe for plantar fascia is loading by dropping your heel off the edge of a step, not dissimilar to the exercises that you might do for an Achilles tendinopathy. So heel drops off a step, but to make sure that the plantar fascia is loaded, to roll up a towel or something soft and place it underneath the big toe so that the big toe is slightly raised, and then you'll notice that as you do your heel drops, both with the knee slightly bent and the knee fully straightened, you'll notice that the load will go through the plantar fascia, so the underside of your foot, more than the Achilles tendon. Now at this point it's really important for me to point out that you must get it assessed first, and you should only do that exercise under the guidance of a physio or another health professional. And that's because you need to get a proper diagnosis, because plantar fascia can sometimes be mistaken, especially in runners, for more serious things like a fracture to your calcaneus, so your heel bone, for example, or a different diagnosis, inflammation of the fat pad of the heel, or there's other things like bursas that can be inflamed. And so it's really important that you do get that diagnosis. It's highly unlikely that it is a fracture. They're much more uncommon, but they exist, and it's important to get it cleared before you start loading it, or you could make it worse. So once you've seen someone, you've cleared all that, you could start doing the loading. You can feel it's fine to feel pain during the exercise, as long as it's not more than about a 3 out of 10, 10 being the worst pain you can imagine, 0 being nothing. So as long as it's about a 3 on that scale, and that the pain doesn't last for more than 2 or 3 hours after you've done the exercise, and obviously not taking any painkillers or anti-inflammatories while you're doing it. So you want to be doing high repetitions, and that's the other thing that you'll notice from the other video that I made on tendons, is that you really do need to be doing high repetitions on a daily basis. If you're only doing them sort of once or twice a week, it's just simply not going to work. In fact, the research around loading tendons is using reps up as high as 120 a day. So I know that's a lot. So I've seen improvements when people are doing 30 reps, but as long as you're doing 30 reps every day, that's important. The other really important thing with plantar fascia pain is to sort out the biomechanics that might be causing the overloading of that plantar fascia. So one of the most obvious things is your ankle range of motion. So doing exercises and having hands-on treatment to increase your ankle range of motion can really help plantar fascia pain. And likewise with pronation and supination. So what that is the way that the foot rolls as you walk or run might need to be addressed. So with some people, they can have overpronation, and some people have less pronation, and actually we call that more of a supinated foot. So getting your physio to have a look, and your physio will have a look and make sure that you're getting the correct amount of pronation, and will train the foot and train you to do exercises to improve that foot biomechanics. Likewise, if there is any issues at the foot, quite often we find that there's a instability around the hip area. So often with muscle called your gluteus medius, which helps to stabilize the hip. So it's important that your physio looks at that and helps you with exercises to retrain that whole lower limb alignment with exercises, for example, using the running man exercise or the wall ball exercise, all the exercises that I mentioned are on this website if you just use the search tool at the top. And if you're looking at this on YouTube, it's www.octopusklinik.com. Finally, because, as I said, plantar fascia behaves like a tendon, the same things apply to plantar fascia healing as tendon healing. So they're hugely affected by things like stress, nutrition, sleep. All of those things can have a really big effect on recovery. So do make sure that you're looking at not just your training program, because obviously that's important, but also your general lifestyle. Are you doing all the good stuff? Are you eating all the right things? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you doing things to tackle stress? Finally, if you would like some short-term relief, then things like taping, massage, acupuncture, all those things can help short-term. But for long-term recovery, you really need to address your biomechanics and create and adhere to a progressive loading program. I hope that's been helpful. Make sure you go and get your pain checked out. If you'd like some advice or information from me, please do email me, lucymacdonaldphysio@hotmail.co.uk, or you can contact me through our website, www.octopusklinik.com. Do follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and let me know in the comments below what you would like me to cover in a video blog next. Until next time, bye!